Christopher Nolan is a director that has walked his own path from the very beginning of his career. From his breakout indie film, Following, right the way through a studio mega franchise such as the Dark Knight trilogy, Nolan is a rare beast. He creates commercial big budget blockbusters that are challenging and original without ever compromising on his singular vision, creating a directing brand that's become synonymous with quality, ambition and intelligence. Nolan's been smart, using the one for the studio, one for me approach, having followed up the financial success of each Dark Knight film by cashing in on his bankability and making large-scale passion projects. Following Batman Begins, he made The Prestige, and after The Dark Knight Rises, he made his big-budget space epic, Interstellar. But it was following arguably his biggest commercial and critical success, The Dark Knight, that he made perhaps his most loved, if not the most discussed film of his career thus far, Inception. Audiences expect Nolan's films to be challenging. In many ways, they're like puzzles or equations that we have to solve. Sometimes, they're like magic tricks. There's a big reveal at the end that makes the story click and changes or deepens our understanding of what we have just watched. Early films like Following, Memento, and The Prestige played with time and the narrative sequence, moving back and forth through time. Even Dunkirk used a challenging time compression narrative to heighten the action and build and deliver a powerful and tense climax. With Inception, Nolan upped the ante. Inception follows a group of thieves led by Leonardo DiCaprio who infiltrate their target's dreams in order to steal corporate intelligence and secrets. Things escalate when they're hired to plant an idea into the mind of a new target, and we enter multiple layers of dreams within dreams, where Nolan again manipulates not only time, but reality.
True inspiration's impossible to fake.
It's not true. Can you do it?
Are you offering me a choice?
Since its release, fans of Inception questioned, analysed and explained their various theories on the various interpretations of the film's dream worlds and whether the whole film is just a dream. What makes Inception interesting is that it reflects Nolan's challenges and sensibilities as a filmmaker. It's almost like Fellini's 8.5 in that it mirrors the process of filmmaking. Nolan himself has stated that when trying to write a team-based creative process for the film, he used the one he knew best, and that's filmmaking. All of the characters represent various roles in film production. Ken Watanabe's Sato is the financier or the studio. Ellen Page's Ariadne is the production designer. Tom Hardy's Eames is the actor. Yusuf the chemist is the first AD. He creates time for them, almost like doing a schedule. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is the line producer. He makes sure things run smoothly during the production or dream. And DiCaprio's Cobb is the director, a screen alter ego for Nolan. Throughout the film, we see various stages of filmmaking. The set in those scenes resemble a production office with drawings and plans. It's here where we see the process. We see the birth of an idea as they plan the job and craft their dream worlds. Not only do they construct sets and build miniatures, but there is very specific reference to writing terminology such as raising the stakes and catharsis as they plan the beats and structure of how the job will go down. With their central theme on the board, they spitball the character journey of the target as if they're plotting a script. They talk about emotional responses, emotional cues. It's the same way that scenes are constructed. There must be conflict, there must be reactions, and change. An outcome of a scene that is either positive or negative. Essentially, it's a character arc that will get their Mark, Robert Fisher, played by Cillian Murphy, to feel as if he's the protagonist in the story so that they can plant the idea. Fisher is not just the protagonist, however. Fisher represents us, the audience.
Why are they all looking at me?
Because my subconscious feels that someone else is creating this world. The more you change things, the quicker the projections start to converge on you.
Converge?
They sense the foreign nature of the dreamer. They attack like white blood cells fighting an infection.
Like they're gonna attack us?
No. Just you.
A lot of the tension in Inception comes from whether a Mark is aware that they're in a dream. Cobb and his team live and die by the authenticity of the worlds they create. As soon as the Mark realizes that they're in a dream, the Mark's subconscious starts to turn on the dream infiltrators. When trying to plant the idea into Fisher's mind, they have to go deeper and deeper into a dream within a dream and beyond in order to blur Fisher's sense of reality.
Pay attention to the strangeness of the weather, the shift in gravity. None of this is real, except the fact that you're in a dream and I'm here to protect you. Go on.
You're not real.
The challenge to create a suspension of disbelief is essential to every filmmaker. The audience has to be lost in the reality of the film, even though they know they're in a cinema or at home watching it. Otherwise, the spell and the dream is broken. Nolan takes care to provide the exposition that sells his concept of dream technology and group dreaming. Much like Cobb and his team, Nolan has thought about how to engage our senses and emotions, and together they create a very familiar cinematic adventure, a James Bond movie. It's no secret that Christopher Nolan is a Bond fanatic. On many occasions, he screens them for his crews to convey the action and excitement he's trying to achieve in his films. In fact, while making the upcoming Tenet, Nolan has stated that it's the only time he's not watched any Bond movies, as they're so ingrained in his mind. The Bond franchise has performed an Inception on Nolan, it seems. Of all of the Bond movies, On Her Majesty's Secret Service is Nolan's favourite Bond movie. You can see the very obvious tribute in the Snow Level Dream, with its Bondian villain fortress, mindless henchmen, and of course, the action in the snow. However, Inception is full of many other Bond stylings. We have Ken Watanabe as a Bond villain, Leonardo DiCaprio as a smooth Bond-style protagonist with a silencer on his gun and sharp suits, Cobb's ex-wife Mole as the glamorous and dangerous Bond girl, various international locations and jet setting, John Barry-esque music during the snow scenes, Ellen Page jumping from a great height like the opening of GoldenEye, and the very James Bond-style plot of stopping total energy dominance. Inception is Nolan's metaphysical Bond film, but the biggest trick of all is that Nolan has been making Bond films in his own image for a while now.
So what do you think?
Does it come in black?
In a time where superhero movies were relatively middle of the road, Nolan elevated himself from indie darling to major Hollywood player by bringing a darker sensibility to the comic book genre. Beyond that, however, he's very much injected some tropes from the Bond universe into the world of Batman. The Aston Martin has been replaced with the Batmobile. Q has been replaced with Morgan Freeman's Lucius Fox, who provides Batman with his gadgets. Again, we have multiple international locations across the entire trilogy. We have duplicitous Bond girls like Catwoman and Marion Cotillard again as Miranda Tate, but the action itself also gets its influence from Bond. The movies open with pre-credit set pieces, such as the opening heist from The Dark Knight, but more specifically, the breathtaking plane hijack at the opening of Dark Knight Rises. We even get a truck flip in the style of License to Kill. Another set piece, which reeks of Bond, appears in The Dark Knight, where under the cover of his Bruce Wayne identity, Batman extracts Lau and brings him back to Gotham. In many ways, that set piece surpasses anything the Bond franchise has offered up in a long time. Rumours have always circulated that Nolan would direct a Bond film. He's used the Bond franchise within the Batman franchise to essentially make his own universe the brand. It seems that he's in fact taking on the Bond franchise head-on with the release of Tenet. The teaser announces that it's time for a new protagonist. Where the Bond franchise constantly struggles to reinvent itself, trailing behind films such as the Jason Bourne series, Nolan appears to be pushing the spy genre into a new dimension with his mysterious high-concept plot for Tenet. Much like the Bond films, Nolan has recast James Bond again and again in his own way, with Christian Bale, Leonardo DiCaprio, and now with John David Washington. He has done the one thing that the Bond franchise have continued to shy away from, and that is to have a black Bond.
They come to be woken up. The dream has become the reality. Who are you to say otherwise?
As we wake up to a reality that is becoming increasingly more difficult to process, a reality that's become more like movies, and seeing movies on the big screen is something we're starting to forget, as the reality of seeing Tenet on the big screen continues to elude us, with the release date being pushed back again and again. We're left waiting for our chance to dream again. I suppose we'll keep waiting. So that's my take on Inception. See you next time.